So we haven't had food in this community, like real food in this community, for half a century. Double the rate of cancer, double the rate of stroke, double the rate of heart disease, double the rate of diabetes, and double the rate of childhood obesity than the county we're in.
About 1 in 10 Americans do not have access to a grocery store that sells fresh food. That's called living in a food desert. There are 40 of them that blanket the city of Dallas. But it's not like we don't have enough food in this country. So why can't we fix this?
So we're on our way to go see Theresa, a mother of 3 kids. She's 26 years old. She works overnight. Nice to meet you. I'm David.
Theresa lives in a food desert, and I'm gonna go shopping with her. By bus, the easiest grocery store to get to is Walmart, and it's 8 miles away.
This is time you could be spending with your kids. They're home right now. You gotta go to the grocery store.
Waste of time sometimes, but I have to do what I have to do.
Looking at the map, it says it's gonna be 48 minutes to get to the grocery store.
It's hard. We have to travel far just to get to where we're going because of us lacking, a car.
And because it's so hard, many people won't make this trip. They'll go to the corner store where you can't get fresh food. But that's not what Theresa wants for her kids.
I love to see fresh food, and the smell of the tomatoes. It's pleasant, anything fresh is pleasant, of course.
But getting fresh food is ultimately a 3-hour round trip. I'm giving her a hand today, but usually she only has 2 hands to carry everything back.
This issue of food and getting to food, how hard is that for you on your life?
It's very hard. So I go to Family Dollar or something like that, where I know they have a little ground meat or whatever. I'll just have to settle, but it can be frustrating.
Food desert is a term that comes from the United States Department of Agriculture. It factors in a neighborhood's income level and access to transportation, and most importantly, if you live more than a mile away from a grocery store. And we're not talking about a corner store here where fresh food options are rare. We're talking about a grocery store that does at least $2 million in business a year. And here's why all of that matters. In areas without a grocery store, the government says there's an increase in obesity and chronic diseases. To fix that problem, Dallas Council member Casey Thomas wants more grocery stores.
How many do you think you need? How many would you like to see built?
As many as possible. Maybe 10, 20.
For 2 years, Thomas has been trying to get a store to open in this space in southern Dallas. It's been empty for a decade. The city offered any grocery chain $3 million to take it over. No one was interested.
When you have as many options as they have, this has not been their choice. Some of it has been based
Even if you
on
offer them $3 million?
$3 million.
I talked to a grocery industry expert who says it is hard for a big supermarket to make a profit in a food desert. That's because residents generally have less money to spend, and it can cost grocers more for security and loss prevention.
Do you agree with the reasons that the grocery store chains give for not being able to do business in your neighborhoods here?
Based on their model, I accept that. I don't believe that to be true from the standpoint of you can make money. You can make money because people will buy groceries.
So Thomas wants 10 to 20 new grocery stores. But so far, the city has only attracted 2. Bringing in big grocery stores, it feels like a losing battle. Are there other options besides bringing in grocery store chains? I'm at a place called Bonton Farms in the heart of a southeast Dallas food desert. They're growing fruits and vegetables, raising goats and chickens. And I'm pulling weeds with Darren Babcock, who lives in the neighborhood.
One of the cool things about a an organic farm like this is there's absolutely no waste.
Yeah, we pull the weeds and they go where?
To the goats or chickens for food, and then they turn it into fertilizer, which is kind of a cool cycle of life.
The plan here is to build a community center and cafe, a place where residents can gather, buy affordable food, and learn about healthy living.
Can I make an observation in that the word food desert seems to not be a helpful term to describe the problem or how to fix it?
Right.
Do you agree with that or disagree?
Absolutely, because it isolates a big problem into one symptom. If you put a grocery store in, it's only going to affect a 1 mile radius. It's a really small impact for a really huge expense.
You'd need hundreds of grocery
Hundreds.
stores.
Another nonprofit is helping to get fresh food into corner stores. At a place called Hackney Foods, they have this cooler, and fresh food is delivered once a week.
If you don't understand the depth of the problem, we're going to wind up hitting the bullseye of the wrong target. And the wrong target would be building a grocery store in a community and thinking that's going to solve the problem.
Remember that $3 million that no grocery store would touch? With that kind of money, Darren thinks he could help open community gardens and stores across southern Dallas.
We have 40 food deserts, and with that $3 million, we could have the answer to this problem. Without a question.
So we verified that food deserts are a widespread problem, hard on people and bad for their health. That big supermarkets are not the only answer. And if they don't come, we have to embrace alternatives. Got something you want verified? Send me an email.